Hey everybody, my name is Josh Sullins. Being in front of the camera is not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm excited to be able to at least try to share with you today a little bit about the case study that I'm doing on Church of the Highlands and the Serve Day that they create there. So, this is something that caught my attention with regards to a case study because it's actually connected to ministry, which is something that I do every single day. And this is put on by the Church of Highlands in Birmingham, Alabama. And this isn't just a simple, nice community event. This is a well organized effort that is mobilizing people inside the church community, inside of Church of the Highlands, to be able to go out and to serve people in the community and make a meaningful, lasting difference in the people's lives who are in need. So, Church of the Highlands is actually one of the largest churches in America. It's one of the largest churches, of course, in the southeastern United States as well. It was founded in 2001 by Pastor Chris Hodges, and they have over 20 campuses just in the state of Alabama alone. This equates to over 60,000 people who attend their weekly services every single week. And they've made their mission incredibly clear, incredibly specific. Their whole purpose of existing is to reach people with the life-giving message of Jesus so that they may become fully devoted followers of Christ. So, as we've learned in our studying about building community, we want to make sure that our goals are very clear, they're very specific, they're very attainable, and you can see that in the mission statement of Church of the Highlands and how that links together to support their serve day. So their systems at Church of the Highlands are all focused on leadership development, and all of these things, all of these systems, all of these purposes are incredibly important to their foundational building block of impacting the people in their community. So let's talk a little bit about Serve Day itself. It mobilizes over in 2023, it mobilized over 22,000 volunteers from within that church community, that building block of that church community, to mobilize outside the walls of the church and impact people in the community. Serve Day is an annual event, so that this is something that the church has established that's repeated each and every year. And as a result of the success of this project and building this community inside the church, they've completed over 1,000 plot projects and completed over 141,000 hours of service to people in the community. Let's talk a little bit about why this day matters and why it is such a successful building block of community inside that church. Chris Hodges, in his book called The Daniel Dilemma, he actually made this statement: getting more people involved in service and helping their neighbors strengthens the community. It provides encouragement and hope to the hopeless, and it opens people's hearts to the love of Jesus. So, Serve Day is not just about being kind to people, it's about their community, their building block of their community, um, building bridges between their church community and the community that surrounds them in their region, and sustaining these acts of love and of service to these people so that they can create relationships with one another. And that is why it's so incredibly important to this church. It is the actual action step of the community that has been built inside the church that is now extending beyond the walls of the church. So, some of the community building principles that we've learned, again, as a part of our studies, Bacon actually talks a lot about this. He says that the simple processes reduce friction and make it easier for people to participate, contribute, and feel like they belong. I think that we can look specifically at Serve Day in the case study, and you can see, because the number of volunteers that are involved in it, it's an incredible success. They have done everything that they can to remove the barriers to involvement. All of their training is online. Everything that they do to prepare their volunteers can be found on their website. They take them through the training. All they have to do is simply come and sign up. They are intentional to say, no experience is necessary. All we need you is to do is just to come and just to be a part of what's happening here. So, as we're looking at Serve Day even further, we can see some of the strategic strengths as a part of this. Green actually talks about in his article in the Yellowhammer News in 2021, when he was highlighting the Church of the Highlands in their Serve Day. He was talking about the fact that their pastors are not the people that are out there doing the service for the people, it's the people inside the church. So they have intentionally decentralized that leadership in their church, pushed it down the chain so that a person that walks in and that just wants to be involved, it makes it incredibly simple and easy for them to do that. Smith again talks about having accessible onboarding. And as I mentioned before, the website gives every single volunteer the training that is needed in order for the expectations to be clear, the communication to be clear, the processes to be very intentional, and for it to be incredibly easy for anybody that wants to be involved. They complete their onboarding online, and then when they show up on the day to serve, everything is very simple and very clear. And then lastly, in Green's book in 2021, he talked a lot about strong local partnerships. Serve Day, it does exactly that. That's the whole intentionality behind it. It's creating these strong partnerships in between the people inside the church that they built community with, and then the people outside the church that they're wanting to continue to bring in and to engage to be a part of the community that they already have established. See, this is more of just a campaign. It's a whole entire movement. It's an incredibly important part of this church. And so when you look at Serve Day and you think about it as opportunities for it to continue to grow, one of the things that has to be taken into consideration is this is just done one time a year. And so churches can certainly replicate it more often if they would like to do that, but they have all the principles that have been very clearly laid out for them by Churches of Highlands. So we know that it's scalable. And so any smaller church, even if they're a smaller church, you don't have to have 60,000 attenders in order to be able to impact the people in your community. And then lastly, in Shipley's article, he talked a lot about Serve Day as a as a project and as a movement and as a mission for the Church of the Highlands. And he says that they're incredibly intentional not to create this idea that everything is super polished, because the smaller churches feel like they can't achieve it, they certainly won't do it. Bacon even says in our book, purpose gives people a reason to keep coming back even when it gets hard. Serve Day is a hard day, but it inspires repeat participation. The structure supports a long term shift in the mindset well beyond the day of serving. Why does it work? It blends faith and strategy. It empowers everyday people, and it builds trust and unity through action. So it isn't just a big event. It's literally a blueprint for building faith-driven and people-powered communities. So strong events like Serve Day, it's an incredibly positive and incredibly impactful case study that I've been able to look at. I've been able to gain insight from, and I think it's something that's incredibly admirable because the church is making an impact beyond the building, beyond the community that is there. And they've been able to extend that to impact the people in the community outside the walls. So, an incredibly successful event that is taking place. And I've really, really enjoyed getting to learn more about Serve Day at Church of the Highlands. And I hope that as a part of this presentation, you have now been able to understand more about it as well. Thank you so much.